My name is Regie Hamm. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, born in Nashville, to a family of songwriters and musicians, so I was kind of doomed from birth. Went into the family business. My dad's a minister. We have preachers and musicians, so we traveled around the country sort of like the gospel Partridge Family. And I did that till I was 16 or 17, and then left and went to college, where I carried a solid 2.0 grade average. Dropped out of college, moved back to Nashville, got into studio work and writing songs. Had a lot of success as a Christian songwriter, and wrote a bunch of #1 hit songs. And around 2000, left that career to strike out on my own as a recording artist. And spent my own money, made my own record, got it signed to the largest record label on planet Earth, being booked by the largest booking agency on planet Earth. And I was on my way. I felt like the trajectory of my life had moved, like this. And I was finally about to step into my destiny. My solo record dropped, as the kids say, on March 18th, 2003. While all of that was happening behind the scenes, my wife and I were trying to have children, and we couldn't do it. There's something about my physicality and something about hers that, I've got some problems, she's got some problems, and we just couldn't conceive. So we applied to adopt from China, and they let us know that they had a baby for us, but we had to be in China the same week my solo record dropped. So I went to the listening party of my record that released to a lot of fanfare, and my agent said, "Get home, get a nanny, and you're going to go tour with Goo Goo Dolls for 5 weeks in Europe." I leave the listening party, get on a plane, go to China, and that's when everything really kind of went haywire. When we were in China, I had all the symptoms of this thing called SARS that they had going around, and it was very dramatic, and I wasn't sure a couple of days there if I was going to get out of China. But a week in, we go to Nanchang, and they handed us a baby with one of the rarest genetic disorders on the planet. They didn't know it, we didn't know it, and so we were at the hospital with her a couple of times, and finally I got better enough and she got better enough where we could fly back to the United States. And so we did. We were able to get out of China without incident. We got back home, and as soon as we landed, my manager called me and said, "Hey, you need to get over your jet lag, come in on Monday, give us a call. Let's see if we can salvage this." I had my single was in the top 20 with a bullet when I left for China. It was dead when I got home from China. All my tour dates were canceled, and I had tested bad in the Northeast or something, and so all of a sudden everything started unraveling. I mean, I had this great career, this great life. I could really lean on my talent. I could really lean on my ability up until then, and then all of a sudden I've got this new mouth to feed. I've got this very strange thing going on with illness with this little girl, and now I can't lean on this anymore. And so we spent the next 5 years in this really weird downward spiral, just trying to figure out what she had, trying to figure out how to make a living and all of that stuff. And I basically flamed out. I got to the bottom of the spiral, and nothing was happening in my career. While that was happening, my daughter was interested in a show called American Idol, and she loved the bad singers in American Idol. when they got better, she was not interested anymore, but my wife stayed interested. And in 2008, they had a songwriter contest. I'd already aged out of the vocal contest, but my wife asked me, would you write a song for this contest? And so I did. And I turned it in with my $10 entry fee, and lo and behold, it won the contest. And that year, David Cook won the vocal contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, singing the winning song of this year's competition, Time of My Life, this is your American Idol, David Cook. Tonight.
For my dreams to turn into something I could believe in.
And he ends up singing my song on the largest American Idol finale in history. 38 million people saw it. And then it just kind of went viral. It just kind of went crazy. And they took it to radio, and it became a #1 for 16 weeks. And then it started getting used in all of these other shows and these other finales, and the NBA Finals was using it, and the ESPYs were using it. And so when my wife and I had been in Beijing, we had gotten little hats that said 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. The Beijing had just gotten the bid for the Olympics. We told the people in the bus we were on we were all going to come back for the Olympics, reintroduce our daughters to the land of their birth. And obviously there's no way that could ever happen. But on the 8th day of the eighth month of the 8th year of the new millennium, they closed the opening ceremonies of the Beijing Olympic Games to the song that I had written about this little girl and her new adopted brother and my miraculous wife and all of that. And it was just this amazing moment. As it turns out, my daughter was diagnosed in 2007 with something called Angelman syndrome. So she is missing a piece of her 15th maternal chromosome. But she was the inspiration for this amazing song, this amazing story. And in 2010, the book came out, and then in 2011, it was first option to become a film, and we're still working on that process now. But through this entire process, I've just learned how important every single life is, even a life that looks to be as damaged as my daughter's appears to be on the surface. But she inspired all of this amazing stuff. And it really changed everything about my life and career and trajectory. And this is the thing that I love to tell people, and I love to, if I come perform at your event, that's the thing that I will tell you, is that everybody matters. Every single life has a purpose. Whether you think it does or not, you don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. And every once in a while, you get these little moments where you can kind of look and see behind the curtain, and you can realize, wow, everything does kind of matter, and everything does kind of fit together. And that's certainly been the case in my life, and that's the kind of thing that I want to tell everybody.